Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? My name is Don. I go by at SpoozDon on Twitter. Today, we're going to go over a short setup that was taken in the A period of today's session, the RTH session. We're going to go over just the basics of it, just going over the overnight structure, using the context and the price action, the order flow, the plan that was given in advance, and just some ideas for tomorrow. And so overall, coming into today's session, it was kind of a neutral market in my opinion. We were balancing between 42.80 and 43.70, but we did not want to ignore the action that was occurring in yields and in the dollar. Now, as everyone knows, the yields, the dollar breaking out extremely strong, which is obviously not so hot for equities. We trade ES, we trade MQ. We wanted to remain nimble as long as within the balance area. However, we did not want to ignore this. We were bearish at the highs of the day. Let's just go ahead and explain why. Let's do it. Okay, so first things first, you want to look at the overnight session, the structure of the overnight session. So here we have a profile. We have a distribution up here between around 43.15 up to 43.36-ish. You have the volume point of control at 43.24. You have some single prints around 43.12s, 43.14s, a low volume node around 43.13. And you also have some single prints down here around 43.06, 43.07, which is right around the prior day's value area low. So currently price is around 43.14 at the time that we are looking to take a trade. Why are we looking to take a trade? Well, because of the reasons I just stated. You have a overnight session that lost control of this distribution and is below the IB range. You have an open right here down below the prior day's value area low, which is around 43.06, 43.07. You have this bearish open, weak open. You have these single prints up here. So I'm looking for any signs of distribution and any signs of bearish order flow, bearish price action to get short. I have these references here. We could reject really from any of these levels, but you want to wait for the order flow to confirm before you take a trade. So let's just go ahead and I'll show you where I personally took a trade and where I was looking for a short once I saw the price action I wanted to see. Okay, here we go. So currently we're building a little distribution between 43.13 and 43.16. You have a kind of a pickup in volume, a pickup in positive net delta. You have a little low volume area around 43.09 to 43.11. Now remember the levels I just talked about, which are 43.07, the prior day val. You have the volume point of control of the cash session below it. So we're already accepting price below the prior day's value, which is obviously more bearish than bullish. And you have these buyers who've come into the market. You see the positive delta. You see the imbalance, which is the yellow numbers that I have my mouse hovering over here at the highs around 43.15, 43.16. So in order to confirm that these sellers are absorbing and now they want to come to market and push price down, you want to see them coming to market. You want to see imbalance on the sell side, on the bid. So you can see there's one right here around 43.11, 43.12s at 231 lot that came in at those prices, and then another one at 43.10, 43.11, 162 lot came. So we're already seeing some sell side imbalance, sellers coming to market and trying to take us lower. You also have bearish price action, lower highs, a lower low down here. So I want to see rejection of price around the absorption, which is 43.15, 43.16. So let's go ahead and try to get filled on our short here. So I've just been filled short. You can kind of see some volume tapering also. right here around like above 43.16, which is the little absorption level that we have. You see some volume tapering. You have this 5300 lot at 43.15 and a half. You have a 4700 lot a tick above, and then a 2400 lot, and then about a 1200 lot a tick above that. So you can see there's less interest in trading above the lower in trading above the single prints from the overnight session, which again were around 43.12 to 43.14. We just put in another lower high. We want to attempt to put in another lower low below 43.13. So once we do that, which we are doing now, a 99 lot just hitting the 12s. So this is looking good. This is looking really good. I want to put my risk above the current day's high now that I've kind of got confirmation of this trade. And now I think that if we go above the high of day, then I'm likely to be wrong. And this is a stronger market than I so thought. So notice how we have this positive delta and then immediately a negative net delta in the next 2-minute candle, and then another positive delta and then another negative delta. So we're kind of balancing, but we know that under the hood, this is a weaker market because of the open, because of where we are currently trading, and because of where value is currently in the session. And we see the lower highs, we see the bearish price action, we see the absorption at the highs, followed by the sellers now coming to market. So now I'm in this trade for kind of a scalp. I want to take some off at 07s because that is the prior day's val, and I want to see continuation and a hold below 07 so I can bet on a directional move lower, and that's going to be my signal to hold on to the trade for longer and to hold on to the trade for lower prices. So effectively, what also makes this trade really powerful is that we have this 07, which is kind of the upper end of this lower distribution. Currently, we have a double distribution here in RTH. And here we go, sellers coming to market. B period just opened. We have some data coming out. Now all of this buying, all of these buyers that came, so we just rejected 07. So I want to hold on to this trade for a bit longer. Let's try to take some off here around 2s. So I've just made it easy, 12, 13 points. Now everyone who bought above 11 and who bought into the overnight single prints are now effectively trapped. So that's the crux of the trade. Now we could see the sellers coming to market, bigger prints hitting lower. So I do want to hold on to this trade for lower levels and lower prices. You see the VPOC just shifted a couple points lower as well. Again, I'm up a good 15 handles on this trade now. I took about 1.5 points risk, 1.3 risk, so not even 2 points risk. And that's the crux of the trade. All these guys are trapped up here above 11, so they're going to add additional sell pressure to this already bearish session, which is really even more bearish than already anticipated below 07. So now we have this 2-minute candle, this B-shaped little candle here, which tells me that the auction is not quite finished to the downside and tells me that any pops are still going to be sold more than likely. We do go on to sell all the way down to 42.50. I personally took off most around 42.95s. That's where I covered majority of my position, but I did hold a runner into the end of the day. And I did make if I covered some. So this trade did go a good 60 points in my favor, which is it's the risk to reward is 1 to 60. I took a 1.3 ticks risk and I made almost over 60 points, which is absolutely incredible risk to reward. And did I know it was going to go that low? I did not, but I knew below 07 we would get a directional move lower. And these setups don't come every day, so when they do, you have to identify them, and you have to. I just got filled on 95s, quick 20 points in minutes, guys. This is the beauty of a high VIX. This is the beauty of reading the context, of reading the structure, of using the profiles, of understanding when absorption is occurring and understanding when the trade is actually on. When you start seeing these imbalances occurring, once the absorption is complete, and then they want to start coming to market, which they are currently doing. And again, you see they're selling lower and lower and lower. They're competing for prices lower. They're trying to get filled on their orders, and that's what we're currently seeing. So that's the crux of it, guys. You have the thesis, you have the context, you have the structure, you have what you want the order flow to look like, what you want the price action to look like, and that's, you don't want to complicate it more than that, because that just is going to lead to just, you're going to think about, oh, and I can predict the market. I can see exactly when this trade is going to work, but you don't. You want to keep it as simple as possible. You want to know that the most important thing is knowing where your risk is and knowing when you're wrong. And you're wrong is simply above the absorption. That's as simple as it is. And you're right when you see them continuing to come into market and accepting below value. So when you see value and volume at lower and lower prices, that's your confirmation that the trade is good. And that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. So we did take this trade live in our Telegram. I shorted against 14s, 43.14, as I was talking about, which was the top area of the signal prints overnight. I had my stop over 15 because I got in a bit early. I saw the absorption and I got in with the absorption, and I jumped the gun just a bit, but I only took a 2-point loss, and I re-entered as long as below 14. And I mentioned how holding below 14 and re-offering 07 was the key. And I mentioned once we re-offer 07, I'm going to take off a quarter of my position and I'm going to move my stop to break even, because that's how I knew that the trade was confirmed. And eventually we did get it. I trimmed and I got 12 points at 43.02. Now, I mentioned we'd like to see it hold under, wanted to see it hold over 07, and that was my cue to hold for further gains. And then we did get the directional move that we were looking for, and that was effectively the crux of it. That was it. Now, if you are interested in joining the Telegram room, I will post the link below. I post daily plans every day. I post weekly plans for ES and NQ. I also offer the Telegram as a part of the subscription. It's included. I posted in the comments of these plans. And yeah, the link is in the description. Again, my @ on Twitter is @SpoozDon. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you want me to make more of these videos. I definitely will. I definitely enjoy making them. I enjoy explaining my thought process and recapping and going over these trades again and again, because it only helps me. And of course, if it helps other people, even better. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great evening. Take care.